Hello, welcome back or welcome in. Thank you so much again for joining me and to continue to listen to my entire ascension journey story. Um, I'm coming towards the end of this entire journey. So I know there's not going to be too many more videos, and that's why I've been kind of holding off. I know you guys are probably seeing the videos right after another. I'm not sure when I'll post this one yet. Whenever you do see this, know that I am still in isolation at this point. I'm being held in place. And anyone who has started their ascension journey may recognize that aspect of their journey where they're held in place for a time by the universe until it's time to move on to the next thing. And during that time, when you're being held in place, it's for you to um, learn lessons, to do shadow work, to become resilient in within yourself. Um, and this one that I've been in for 4 months now, I'm going to say two, because this one is more of 2 months of being really deep into it. And I had, when I had stopped working in June, I had thought, okay, um, I have enough income to take me through to, probably September or so. And I didn't realize that the universe was going to say, oh, you're going to stay in this for a little while longer. So it's been a long while. Um, but there's reasons for that. And yes, it is can be frustrating. Um, and there was times when I'm like, like I can't do this anymore. And I said to myself, I've come this far. All the things that you guys have known, everything that I've been through in my physical journey, to come now to this part of going through this more mental, spiritual part of the journey, and to say, okay, are you going to give up now when you've come so far? And I mean, you guys know that have been following my story that I've been homeless on the street as part of this journey, um, not having food. I just did a whole video on food insecurity, and it's all these different tests that I had to go through in order to get to this part before manifestation. Okay. I have some notes here because there's so much. And I kind of been sitting here for the last couple of days trying to really say, Spirit, what is it that I need to know and understand about this time period that I've been going through? So just understand that whenever you're seeing this, I'm still in isolation, but I expect that this will be done, I'll be taken out of this very shortly afterwards. So this last 2 months has been a time of like really digging deeper. Like I couldn't see, all I was worried about, okay, when's this going to be done? When's this going to be done? I can get down to doing my spiritual work. And also understanding that I always say to you that you're having two lives within one lifetime, right? So I kind of say, okay, well, I know that I'm no longer in contact with anyone from my past, or that I've finished, you know, learning lessons and everything. But then Spirit says, have you really finished learning those lessons? This period of time that you will, if you're on your ascension journey, eventually go through. Um, when I was really thinking about it, and Spirit came through, and as you know, I'm not religious at all, but I do think, and I had for a while kind of thrown the Bible to the side because I was so frustrated with um, understanding the religion that I was brought up in and religion altogether. But as these last 4 months, I've also been digging deeper to understanding um, the start of humankind here on Earth. And the story that we've been told is totally incorrect to what the true story is. And that's going to be a whole nother video. But kind of being like, oh my goodness, it all makes sense now. Like, so when I look at the Bible now, I look at it so much differently than how I was raised to read it. And I say, oh, these millions of people have been duped to believe that what they've been taught out of the Bible is the way it is, and it's not. But that's for you and everyone else to figure out on their own, in their own way, in their own time. It's just like me. I had to see it for myself. But Psalms 23:4 came to me. I used to know, I used to know my Bible books by heart. Like I could say from Genesis through to Revelation one by one, like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, some whatever, however it was. I used to be able to say all the way down to Revelation. Like that was just something I was taught to do. I don't know why. And it's easier to also, um, when you want to refer to a book in the Bible, to find a verse and say, okay, easy to say, okay, that's how I know where this book is, according to knowing, how the books go in the Bible. Anyway, but verse came to me. If I had put this on my timer, I've been already talking. Um, Psalms 23:4. And I didn't know what verse it was, but the verse came to me and I had to look it up. And it says a deeper, oh, I'm sorry. Here it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil. Um, did I write it all the way down? Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. But you know the verse that I'm talking about, that I fear no evil because of whatever. And being kind of in this space where if you thought you've done shadow work before, you haven't done it yet because the universe has said, okay, you are at this level of almost soul mastery, right? And everything that I've been taught up to this point came from having this human experience. But it's like the universe is now saying, okay, what you learned previously was from humans. Now it's time for the universe to teach you exactly how it is, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's why you're in this isolation period where it's just you and the universe really saying this conversation with the universe to say, what do I need to know? What do I need to learn? Teach me about the I can't say that word, the bits and pieces of the universe that I'm not aware of what the beginning of our civilization was, or what how all this started on Earth, and not what we were told by man, if that makes sense. Okay. So you're kind of put into this isolation period where you need to go so much deeper with spirit and allow spirit to teach you. Okay, so really not having access to anyone else. Um, and as I told you, I had sold my car just thinking, okay, soon I'll get another one. But that was the reason for the universe telling me at the time, like, it's time to sell your car so that I'm not out there kind of, running around and allowing the influences of the outside world to affect this period of time that the universe needed to spend with me. Okay. Mistake I made, that's how you learn, right? The mistake I made was I'm in this new complex here and I met a really nice couple. And I think I had talked about them before. And I'm saying, oh, this must be a part of my soul family. But understand that I'm thinking, okay, I just met them. They're new. They must be a part of my new life. But I've done a video on before the people who come into your life for a reason, season, whatever it may be, are there to teach a lesson or to say, have you learned the lesson? So I kind of attached to this couple, we would go to farmers markets together and um, we had dinners. A bunch of us had a little dinner here. But then I started noticing some things were happening that in the back of my mind, I'm saying, do I feel good about this? Does it feel right? And I've done a video, I think it was an excerpt on the chocolate bar effect of when someone hands you something to say, oh, I'm being nice to you, here, take it. I like you. I hope we could be good friends. This is just a little token of, um, my appreciation for you being a part of my life. But then things start to happen where they start taking advantage of that, of your niceness. And this is what was happening. Because before, like, I don't have like a mean, I shouldn't say I have a mean body, bone in my body, but you learn, um, you learn mastery over your emotions during this journey and knowing when is the right time to say something and knowing how to say things, right? So when I started seeing these little things happening, I'm saying to myself, okay, well, sometimes you just say, okay, well, you know, let it go, wasn't a big deal, whatever. Then it happens again. And I'm saying to myself again, well, I let it go. Do I make a big deal of it? I do like, their company. But then I'm saying too, the universe was trying to tell me that this is their time. And these people were taking the universe's time away from my attention away from the universe, if that makes sense. And I needed to be pulled back into having this um, one-on-one conversation with spirit. And it got to the point where I started seeing them doing more and more things to kind of like really little stupid things that were adding up. And then you kind of stop and say, wait a minute, like, why am I allowing this to happen? Like, this is everything I had worked against for people to no longer treat me this way. And I'm allowing this to happen again? So I knew it was time for me to back away from that situation. And of course, people don't understand, like, oh, what did I do wrong? Because in their eyes, they can't see, like, we've been nice to you, we've taken you to the farmer's market and, we've taken you to the store. But that's that chocolate candy bar effect where we're giving you a little bit of something, but we think that now we can treat you any way that we want to treat you. So anyway, all of that to say that the universe needed to kind of rope me back in, pull me back into having this quiet time. And it's this deeper level of internal work. I want to say when you've done shadow work before, um, you may go in, right? Spend some time alone, having a dark night of the soul, and have this period of kind of saying, okay, I need to work on this. So you may work on that one aspect and kind of dig it out of you, right? That part of your shadow, and you're done with that, right? And then another time, there's another part of you saying, I need to take this out of me, take it out, dig it, dig it out, throw it away. What's left now, there's not too much left of that shadow, okay, when you get to this point. But now I needed to go in and kind of do the scraping. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you have a really dirty pot, right? And you have taken out, chunks of whatever leftover food or something out of that pot. And little by little, the pot is empty, right? But now you really need to go in and scrape out around the edges and get everything out, right? And really clean and scrub it in order to fully um, get rid of any shadow part that is still remaining. Okay, so that's what this deep internal um, healing that I've been going through in this isolation period um, has been. So another part of it is, since again, you are going into your second life within this lifetime, people say, oh, well, no, you're when you go through this, you're losing your ego. And many people in the spiritual community say, oh, well, that's not right, because your ego is really kind of who you are, your persona. But in this case, when you are going through your ascension journey, yes, you are letting go of your ego completely. Because who you were, your personality, your persona, who you exactly were in that past life, you can no longer be that person. You can't carry that those old traits of you into this new lifetime. So yes, you're totally letting go of the ego. An example of this is I had gone through, I am a metaphysical minister. I went through my pastor training, my schooling and everything like that, and to become a reverend. And I said that was in my kind of my old life. So whenever I talked to anyone or met with a client or whatever, I was Reverend Ridley, right? And I said to myself, what does being a reverend really mean to me? And a lot of times when we are, we look at people who are in the religious field more so. This had nothing to do with religion. This was metaphysics. Um, as being someone kind of, I don't want to say above us or higher than us or have a higher standing than us in any way, but we see them at another level, right? And we have reverence for them. I no longer wanted people to see me in that same way, because to me, I've had to go through this journey in order to get to this other side. And my purpose in life is to help others like you to get through this journey. And I'm doing it as a friend, as a um, another spiritual person, not any reverence needing to be owed to me because all everything we know is through the divine, right? And we are a part of the divine. So my helping you or anyone else is doing the divine's work. So I've let that go. And in that way, I am losing my identity, okay, and letting all of that go. Let's see if I missed anything. So also in this, I think this is the last point. Also in this period of isolation where everything kind of has been taken away from me, um, there comes a point of lack of financial funds, lack of being able to purchase food for myself, um, not having any access, but everything that I've needed has been brought to me. So I haven't gone without. So let me see if I can. We have been taught to depend on this system of, you go to school, there's the school system, right? You go to college, there's the college system, right? We get married. Um, we, want to buy a house. There's this whole, system of house buying or getting a job, right? There's this whole system that has us attached to it. And we can't do anything without having this credit score or having money in the bank or having, um, the resources. And that all comes from this man-made, I shouldn't say man, I'm sorry, a human-made system. And we've gotten away from relying on the divine for the things that we need. So if you think about, for example, Native American that were here before we all got here in America, if you're in, the United States, and, they would pray to a great spirit, right? Which is the divine. They needed rain, right? They had like, I don't know, maybe I watched too many movies, but truthfully, like rain dance or whatever they needed, it was provided through them because they had the faith that what they needed would come, right? They would be able to manifest these things. So there comes to this point in time where the universe is saying that you're no longer going to depend on this system of things. If you look right now at what's going on in the news, right? That there's so many people who are dependent on the system. People are saying, I don't know. I think the food stamps, the EBT was supposed to continue after November 1st. But so many people were kind of up in arms saying that I'm so reliant on this system to feed me that what am I going to do without it? Or so reliant on my job that I could get laid off at any time, that if I do get laid off, people live on paycheck to paycheck, that one paycheck away from not being able to afford food or their homes or anything like that. Not allowing the divine to bring them what they needed. So we're moving into this higher consciousness now of understanding that that reliance comes from being in tune with the divine through manifesting what we need on a daily basis. And that's where I've been in this space of what I need is brought to me, but also a thing of being self-reliant too, not depending on a system for um, I can't say that word, substance. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to go too long here. It's already gone long, but so that's the space that I'm in right now. So understand that when you do see this video, I am still in isolation, but I believe that from the feeling that I get, that this will be over for me very soon. And wherever you are on your journey, know that the whole reason for me telling my journey is so that you have like a blueprint to follow and to understand why you're going through certain things at a certain time. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions, you would like to talk to me about your own journey, there is a link below to book time with me. And I do have some courses on the Ascension journey, and that link is also below. And I'll see you in the next one.